here. How are you? Hopefully we are streaming this week. Last week, what a mix-up. Lightning, I ended up buying a new switch box for one of the connections in my little network here, and it seems to be going really nicely. Back to the Ryobi silicon gun, or caulking gun, whatever you want to call it. I thought I'd talk about it just quickly because I was really impressed with it. It's got a little lock here. I don't know if you can see that. There we go, that's going to be better. There, on, off. You pull the thing back and you put a cartridge in it. And then on the side here, you've got a speed control. So I can put it up to really slow and you watch. That's very, very slowly going back in. Hear that? Then I can speed it up. Watch this. Okay, so you can see it coming down the inside, and it's no slouch. I thought that because it was Ryobi, that it may not perform very well, because I've got one of their drills, which is okay. You know, it's a handyman drill. I wouldn't want to go putting 4-inch bugle screws into roof battens with it, because I think it'll probably die. Because it's only a $100 drill. So how much engineering and reliability can be built into it? Okay, need to restart the show. Sound goes with shirt. Okay, I don't know what's going on there. It's good now. There you go, shut up, thank you. I'm hoping the sync is right. Please let me know if the sound is coming out at the same time I'm talking, because I did have it advanced 50 milliseconds at the beginning of the show. Now, I will watch all of this and make sure that you guys aren't trying to wind me up with April Fools. Look, let's get into the video, and I will turn this one back on again. So this was called My Week. Now, this is about ants. I'm going to shut up for this one and just let it run. Okay, yesterday there was a massive mound of these ants all around this blackberry here. Now, this morning there's a trail, and they're all carrying eggs. Well, pretty much all of them are carrying eggs. See, they're carrying eggs out from down the bottom there. Now, I don't know why they're moving. Obviously, there's a queen down there somewhere. Main nest. But the thing that amazed me, apart from that massive pile up that I showed a video of yesterday, is how far these little guys walk. Now, this building that I'm walking beside, this is my garage and workshop, is 11 meters long. And you can see they show up better on the concrete after it's been cleaned. And here, I think, is an unwitting casualty. I must have trodden on one there on my way in this morning. I just didn't see them. And they keep going. Now, as I say, this building is 11 metres, so we've probably gone 14 or 15 metres so far. Now, around the corner, and they've gone down the side. This is the area I've still got to clean up. More eggs. And the trail continues. I'm being careful not to tread on them. And they go down and around. I thought I'd lost them here, but they're being intrepid explorers. There they are. And going up the old wall and continuing and continuing and continuing and using bits of grass. And there they are inside, and still going up and onto my screed. And I don't know where they're going to from here. And I don't really want to, because as you can see, that's quite a mess in there. So the main thing is that they're headed off into the bush somewhere. I don't know where. Who tells them to do this stuff? The communications, I just don't get it. And from way down the end, past the end of the building there. But that's the thing I spotted on the white concrete that I cleaned. That's where they showed up, and also with the sun behind them over there. Punch them up as well. Well, there you go. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. I've got to do a bit more cleaning up in here. and then I'm going to get the pressure cleaner out and have some more fun cleaning off the concrete. I'll probably start down there, give these guys. So what do you think of that? That's pretty amazing, isn't it? Now, during the break, I've been reading some of the comments coming through, so I just pushed the sound back to 350 milliseconds because Darren Allen had just made comment that the sound was perfect at the beginning. So hopefully it'll be fine, and I'm going to leave it there for the rest of the show. We've got 40 minutes of torture for you if the sound is not correct. All right, what do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Steve Ennis. Let's have a quick look at Steve's bench that he's making here. He's making a perforated surface with some Kreg clamping track. Would you call it Kreg clamp track, Steve? I'm just having a quick look there. Oh, I've got it there because I had it under Ennis, not Steve. Here we go. Now, I don't think there's any sound in this one, so I'll talk through it. That's the Kreg clamp track. And he bought some 6-foot lengths. And he's had that right angle square made by a CNC machine. And he's locking it down on, he also had that top CNC cut. And this is his fancy bench that he's put it on, which has got PVC pipes through it, which is good for storing stuff. And there's some amazing clamps on the side there. Now, I'm going to read a little bit here while this goes through. Now, it may end up being, is too much. Go the other way. Okay. I will soon. Steve, it says, hey guys, I'm talking with, oh, so this is something from Steve regarding someone else. So give me a sec, because this is quite nice of Steve to do this. I'll pop it back here. Okay. 350 is too much. I'll go 320. I'll go 320. Now this is pretty amazing that I can do this, considering it's just 8. And this one, close. How's that? I'm hoping that that's going to work for you, Graham. I've gone to 320. Leave it. Leave it, leave it, leave it. All right. The fact that I'm talking about it during the show is I can watch it in the recording, and then I've said 320, so I will know if 320 is good from watching the recording, or if 350 is best for me for watching the recording. It's going to have nothing to do with traveling across the Pacific Ocean and then back to anyone else. There we go. All right. Now, Steve has sent this up to me about our friend John, who does all of these goodies. Look at this stuff. John, I get these in the mail. It's amazing. Bet you wish you were too. Hey guys, I'm talking with our mate John Lafferty on Messenger. I wanted to share something which shows just how clever John is. We were talking about how he loves Lego for some of his inspirations. He told me of a story that goes like this. John says, at age 16, I had to explain to the chief engineer on a bridge site why his idea for an access bridge would not work. I used Lego to explain it. Dad was proud. Is this the makings of an engineer or what? So that's just from Steve, you know. Well, I know Steve is loud sometimes, but he's got a heart of gold. And, you know, I'm sure we all have different personalities in the group. And we've got our good points. And none of us are perfect. I'll tell you that for straight. Okay, let's see what the next thing is. I've also turned the sound up this week, so hopefully you haven't got to turn it down. Next thing. How are we doing for viewers and thumbs up and people watching? They all got taken off because the sound's out of sync and we're changing things around too much. And I haven't actually got into a demonstration. I'm going to do Phoebe's after this. We'll jump around to do a demonstration first. So I shall switch cameras from this one over to there. 320 is pretty close. Don't mess with it anymore. Okay. All right. A big blush, eh, John? Well, you deserve it, mate. All right, where are we going to start with all of this? How about I start with, I'll pop that down there out of the way. Start with the plane. This is my Stanley 4.5. And John, you know John made the knob at the front, but he's also made a tote for me. Remember the other week? This is out of printed MDF, and he has actually sanded it. That's pretty amazing. 53 watching, 34 thumbs.
We need more people watching. So I'm doing more demonstration. Okay, now that's the original. So there you go. Not bad, not bad, not bad. It's very comfortable in my hand as well. Whilst we're talking about John, let's have a look at one of the next things. These things are, and I need my specs for this one. That was printed MDF, and there's bags come along. Okay, this is called a buddy slat. So this guy here is a buddy slat. Good color. Now it holds a piece of timber, a bit of 2x1 or 3x1 pine, so it'll finish around, I don't know, whatever it finishes at, 19, 20. And it's got a little 20mm dog on the end of it, so I can just drop in like so. Couple at the front, and these are sacrificial. So if I want to use my track saw for cutting above the top and not have anything drop, or if I had a very large table here that was dog holed, something like Steve's got, 8 feet by 4 feet, and I could have a series of these set up, and instead of using hard insulation, hard, polystyrene foam, whatever, here, I could have these on top of my top and save the counter on it. So I'll show you how it works. First thing to do, for me anyway, that I would like to do, is put that in, and I will use my Vicks bit. You can't see from that side. Self-centering. And put a couple of screws in. I had a screwdriver drill there it is. And I had some screws here as well. Is this what you like more than me prattling on? I'm sure it is. We'll probably get a few people come in and say, Dave, stop crapping on. In Easter Dave, I'm surprised we have 54. Exactly. All right, I'm going to put some screws in the back. Now I can put them all the way through because the hole is exactly the same spot on the other side. I'm going to show you something in a second as to why. It's always a good idea to do this kind of stuff whilst it's in the dog holes, because all the dog holes are regular. Now these are just inch by 8 gauge. Out you come. Yep. So that's what it looks like now. Back in front of the camera. A couple of screws in each dog, and you can see, I don't have to explain to you how good this is. Now I'm doing them at the front of the table on purpose because I can get the drill in there easily. How's that? You were surprised, weren't you? You thought, hello, they're not going to fit. They won't fit. So as I say, these are called buddy slats, and I will give you a demonstration of them in use in a second. I need to put a couple more screws in. Other screwdriver. Phoebe, don't panic. Your stuff will be coming very soon. The reason I'm putting the screws in, I don't want, as I'm using the track saw, for it to jam. I want things to be held secure. And I need to put some more screws in. And this isn't David being slack and not preparing. This is David actually going through the process and showing you how it's done. Actually, how about I do it, man of my word. If I didn't put the, how good is that? I love this bench. There's links in the description box below where it says show more. You can get the plans for this thing. Steve drew them up for me. How nice is that? So all I'm doing is putting those in there. The reason I didn't just put a screw in or drill with an ordinary drill is it would have lifted the slat up slightly, and then my piece of timber, when it went on, it would start rocking, and that wouldn't have been any fun at all. Yellow box shed. I'm shameless, aren't I? I'm just letting you know. And if you want a discount, type in Dave 5. They'll give you a 5% discount. Now, we have had some people say, what if I put in Dave 50? Nah, won't work. You won't get any discount. All right, let's have a look. Bit of melamine, sitting perfectly. Yes, and if I wanted to, I could put some cushion strip on top of these as well to stop anything sliding around, because melamine is extremely slippery. Actually, I'm starting to wonder if I'm going to use this as the right product. Now, I'm using 3 by, just checking everything's good this week. I'm using whatever that size is there because it allows me to get the blade tracking all the way through without a worry. The blade guard is going to pop up as I approach. So let's do it. What was catching there? Oh, I was catching on the blade guard. Yeah. You know, they say always try to always get something done before you start a demonstration. Yep. Held. Didn't drop on the ground. Cut's finished. All done. Don't look at the quality of the cut on that side. You can look at the quality of the cut on that side because I didn't use a splinter guard. How nice is that? That's a very nice cut. Okay. I'm not showing the other side. So there's the buddies. That's one thing. What's the next thing we've got? These guys. These are called a buddy peg that John's made. So this goes in the front of the bench. So on my skirt of the bench. So you guys can't see it from there, but you know, it looks great. It supports anything that I rest against here. So where's that piece? It's just sitting on the buddy that's sitting at the front there. If I want to, I could also use John's screws, or his, what's he call them? Multifunctional knob. No comment. Nice pink shirt. You like that one? No, I'm good. I'm good. Great too. We're going to have an Easter egg hunt on the show. No. Okay, so these things. I'll just show you quickly how cool they are. Where's that nut? There it is. These are John's multifunction knob. And this is an 8mm. Or if you wanted to, we could call it an Australian mate. Mate. Anyway, it's got a little, like a little kiss mouth, little mouth on the side. Put a screwdriver in there and it pops open. See that? And it's got these little dowels that line it up. There is an M8 bolt inside. Now what I can also do is take the bolt out and I can put the M8 nut in there instead, like so. See, it's got a through section right the way through. Now all of a sudden, I know a lot of you are going to say, man, oh man, that's what a great idea. And it is. Now, when you put them back on, they won't just line up because it's 3 pins. You have to rotate it around so the line up is correct. Snaps back. And then I can use this. How good is that? That is very, very clever. Now he makes them in mates or 5/16. Very, very clever. Okay, so an M8, let's have a look at this. This is the one for on the edge. And we'll move that, that, and that, and I'll get one from here. I'll just undo the nut on that one. And I did mention that John actually prints the thread in to all of his stuff, or to a lot of his stuff, and up to prove it. There is no nut in there. That's printed straight away. How cool is that? All right. We're an amazing trio. Is that right? Okay. I'm going to park myself over here for a second and have a quick read. Okay. Nice pink shirt. Yeah, well, good done. Love the Buddy Peg. Steve Pistols finally come on. Hi, guys. Though, what's the psychedelic shirt? Yeah. John Lafferty, any yellow box items with Buddy is a teamwork with Steve Innes. Correct. Sorry about that. Sorry, I'm late. I had computer issues, so that's no good, Steve. Carl Karcher, Steve is not the shirt; it's the contents that's psychedelic. It is awesome, Hilton. The Three Stooges, curly, bald, and fat. Okay. Og Atkinson, glad you tuned in. Well, that's good. Good to hear you. Good to see you here. You should start a club. Send us new products every month. Yes, it's great. These guys, they look. There's so many things you can do with a bench like this. Now, as I say, I've got this one. Ron Polk sells his bench. You can make one up yourself. You can do what Steve did and have someone just zap up a piece of MDF with a CNC machine. I might be able to do that further down the track as well when my CNC arrives, if you hadn't heard. Now, I will let you know who's looking after me as far as that's concerned, the CNC and also the software to run it, but not quite yet. I'll tell you maybe at the end of the show. And remember, we've got Phoebe stuff to come as well. All right, we've still got a little bit more here, I think. Yes. Okay. Now, John and Steve, see, I get sent these bags. It's like a lucky dip. Every week, parcel will arrive from Canberra. And I go, I wonder what's in there this week. So these are just a 20 millimeter cylinder with an 8 millimeter thread down the center. And these are designed to go straight in. I'll undo that. Into the bench. Now, some of these are a little harder than others. I don't know why that is. John was saying sometimes if you put them in too fast, they heat up. He says it's just a matter of backing off like tapping a thread. But it's gone in fine. Look at that. That's locked in. Out it comes. Now, you can use that for a multitude of things. Now, I did use it for this hold down clamp, and it worked okay, but I was still getting a little bit of rocking off the back. And then John reminded me that he makes these things. This is crazy. He makes these things. That's the wrong color, obviously. It should be blue. This one won't work because it's the wrong color. But only kidding. So these things go in from underneath. And again, John has done an 8 millimeter thread. You'll be able to see it there? I reckon so. It's just going to be on the edge, but I think it'll be fine. Move those guys out of the way. Okay, if I pick this up and spin it. There we go. Good. Okay, what'll I hold down with it? You ready? Here we go. Watch this. I love it. Anywhere I want. I can tension these clamps up. Go a little bit tighter. That's starting to really grab a hold of it. So how good is that? You're probably not quite in the picture. I should have done it. No, I should have done it over here somewhere. But not to worry. It gives you the idea. So that way, you don't have to drill a secondary hole anywhere. You can still work off your 20 millimeter dog holes. And you can still work off a 3/4 inch dog hole because he does these in 3/4 as well as 20 mil. So for all of our friends in the States that haven't become metrified, whatever, not petrified, it's metrified, who haven't adopted the metric system as used in Europe, well, you'll still be looked after if you're using the imperial system. All you got to do is let him know. What else have we got? I'm sure there's something else here. Ah, yes. Here's one for you. That my friends, will go on a Festool Sustainer. You know, like he's made some for me with Barry the Pug over there. You can't quite see it, but unlucky, you'll see it later on. And there's also some double stick tape that John puts on it. So there's little clip points that will lock it in, and then you've got the tape as well just to stop it going anywhere, to make it secure. John, tell me if I've done everything, or if there's more to do. I think that's it this week. Who knows what he's going to bring out next week? I don't know, maybe nothing. What do you reckon? We should give John a rest for a little while, let him have a break. I think that's it for there. Okay, now while I've got this camera, that camera there, now I'm going to turn the other camera on because I want to show you something out the back here. Let me have a quick read first. You should start a club. Darren, John, you make some useful bits. Thanks for the shout out. Not a problem. Old Johnny's so clever. He gets it. Yes, he does. Barry Doxy, orders are building already. Like when I used to play drums with a great musician, it was awesome to do. Dave is like Christmas every week. It is, John. It's unbelievable. All done for this week. Okay, so John needs to have a rest. You know what time I got up this morning? Because we just had daylight savings finish. So right now it's 20 to 12. Well, it's actually 20 to 1 in the afternoon from what it was last week. So I woke up and got out of bed at 3:30. It's a bit weird, isn't it? So you know what I did? I came down and I painted the garage because I'm expecting this machine. So generous, so generous, so generous. CNC router parts. I've just told you who's giving me the machine. It's an 8x4 professional CNC machine with stand and everything. And as I said, I didn't ask them. I had no inclination on buying a CNC. They just got in touch with me. Actually, Vectric, from VCarve, from Vectric in England, London. Chris from VCarve Vectric got in touch with me and said, Dave, are you interested in using our software? And I said, well, Chris, if I had a CNC, I probably would be, but I haven't got one. And, I haven't really got any interest, but, let's see. If I can get you a machine, would you be interested? And I said, well, why not? Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? Like if someone said to you, here, have a machine, would you be willing to learn it? And it's one of those things, I've always been worried about learning it, and I thought, maybe I should. Rather than keep my head stuck in the sand like an ostrich, I'd do it. Anyway, a few weeks went past, and I got an email from Chris to Nathan at CNC Router Parts in the States, and introducing me. And Nathan said, yeah, I'm aware of Dave. Let's have some chats, which we did. And then next thing you know, well, it was a while after that, I thought, oh, it's all gone cold. They don't want to do it anymore. And there you go. It'll be here in another 4 or 5 weeks. So I'm madly, madly, madly getting this room ready. I'll turn the camera around and I'll show you out there where we're up to. I've got to swing this around the other way. Give me a second, guys. Won't be long. Okay, transition to the other door. Are you ready? This is where I'm up to. You can see, I'll walk around in here. Whoop, hopefully that's all good. I don't know if you can see me out here. It's going to be a bit echoey because I'm walking around out in the garage and seeing I've taken everything off the walls in here. All my timber rack I took down, that was right along this wall, all this timber. I was only going to paint that wall over there. You can't see it, but it was a horribly filthy wall. So I was going to paint that wall and leave this. And I was looking at it last night. I thought, this is going to bug me. So I stripped all the timber off, took all the racks off, and then I'm sealing it. This is a primer sealer coat before I start. So basically an undercoat as well. So I've got texture on here. Now that seal is not going to cover it very well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint it with some shellac. So I'll put a bit of shellac over the top of that. And then when I put the sealer over the top of that again, that'll all disappear. I could keep on going, 4 or 5 coats. Eventually it'd disappear. But, why waste the time? It's quicker. A whole heap of holes I filled. A whole heap of holes. These holes here pardon me, are to do with the electricals that I've run different power points down the wall here. So I'm going to leave them there for the moment. I may fix those up a little bit later on. I've got to put a junction box over that connection over there. There's another one over there. The ceiling, people have asked me what I'm going to do with the ceiling. I'm going to possibly put polystyrene up in between the bottom of the trusses and the trimmers that I've got up there. And for two reasons. One, to deaden the sound in here. And also, so if the machine's running, you know, at midnight, I'm not going to tick the neighbours off. And the other thing is to, if it's white, throw reflective light down. And I'll also do the garage door. I've ground the slab, pressure cleaned it, and I've got some epoxy arriving for this. I'm going to do 3 coats of 2-pack epoxy on the floor. It's going to be clear. I'm not going to add any chip to it. I want to see just the concrete. So what do you reckon? Is that amazing? Oh, thank you very much for the Jay Parra. That's great. Thank you so much for that. That's when people do that. It's, you know, look. I'm guessing there's people out there saying, "Oh, wow, Dave is so lucky. You know, why would I flick him some money?" Well, Dave is asset rich, money poor. So every time someone decides to flick me some money, it really does. I love it. And someone asked earlier about Patreon. Patreon's something that I haven't done. I've got to research it more and do it. But if you want to help me out a little bit, you can do what Jay Parra has just done there, or you can buy a set of my plans. You know, don't even download them if you want to. But you know, that'll be a way of helping me out if you want. What's the next thing? We've got to get up to Phoebe stuff. I'm going to spin this around again, around and around and around. Okay, where are we? So John, yes, we need to talk about John's stuff. I'm going to run John's video. And also remind me that I did a test on this, on this masking tape. Now this masking tape I got from Aldi. It's about $4. It came in 3 roll sizes. And I've been using it and it works really, really well. Now here's a little thing. I saw one of the guys threw up this link on how to do this. You watch this. So you peel some tape off and this holds well. It doesn't stuff up. You fold it over, peel it and fold it back out to the side at 45 degrees. Can you see that? Like so. And then you tear it off. And that has left a little flap, you may not be able to see it, ready to tear off on the next one. I'm going to shut that door because it's throwing too much light back in here. Yes, so very, very exciting times coming along. Who's interested in learning how to use a CNC machine while I do it? I'm going to take you through the whole process from the thing arriving here, even before that, doing all of this room out there, getting in preparation. I didn't have to do all that. I could have just plonked the CNC in the dirty old garage and run with it. It would have been fine. But I thought, you know, I have the opportunity. It's going to be a whole lot easier to tidy that room up before the machine gets here. And it's a whole lot more enjoyable. Don't you find that? Do you find that if you've got something happening, it's and everything's nice and tidy and clean around you, that you're not in clutter, and it's just easier to do things and a whole lot more enjoyable. That's the way I look at it. Okay, great tape idea. One of those. Why didn't we think of that before? Yeah, it was just put on the stream or put on the Facebook page by someone watching. It's great. Yes, please. Can't get enough learning. Okay. Well, I will. I'll take you through it all. I have been doing a little bit of study already, and John, as you know, is very good with the CNC, and he's offered to help me along as well, which is great. Now, these guys that from Vectric have said, Dave, direct line to me. Any questions? Go for it. Now, the thing is, when I started talking to these guys at Vectric and with CNC router parts, they still spoke in a language that I didn't quite get. So I was having to pull them up all the time to dumb it down a little bit for David. You know, I wasn't following some of the acronyms. So CNC, do you know what CNC stands for? I thought it stood for computer navigated cutting. It actually stands for computer numeric control, or computer numerical control. I was talking to one guy about it, and he said, yeah, these boffins, they sit around and say, now what will we call it? Computer numerical control. What do you reckon? Thanks, Steve. It's very generous of you. Thanks. You see, it affects me when people do that. Thank you so much. Right, where was I up to? I've lost the plot. See? The new series on the CNC. So I'm going to take you all the way through from start through to assembling the machine, learning the software, and making something. And it's going to be a blast. And I've done some of their video tutorials. You can have a look at that. If you can't wait, jump onto Vectric's site, and they've got some tutorials in 2D, 2.5D, and 3D. Did you know there was a 2.5D as well? I'm learning all the time. This is stuff that I had no idea. All right. Next thing. Phoebe. Let's get Phoebe's thing over. She's been waiting, and I'm going to do a quick read first, and then we'll start her video running. Hey Dave, how are you? This is our little Lubin rebate block plane that Brenton picked up from Timbercon. We use it for general cleanup and smoothing, epoxy removal, etc. The rebate ability is great for cleaning up shoulders on tenons. At the moment, we have used it lots for cleanup on the dining room table I am building. Now, I'm going to run the video for Phoebe that she put together for me. Now, she did all this. It's fantastic. So I put a couple of images at the beginning before the video. So I want you to watch. There is one part during it that when they pick up some timber in the ute, there's a little bit of sound there. It might scare you. So just a heads up. Here we go. I'm going to talk over the rest of it. Okay, so this is the block plane, and I'm really developing an appreciation for hand tools at the moment, and I'm determined to practice, and maybe fill up a few bags of shaving curls like that. So here we go. And that is the only sound you'll hear. So Brenton putting stuff over the jointer, I think. And here's the domino hard at work. Now the only way I can tell it's Brenton is there's no nail polish. The old safety boots again. Thanks, Carl. So how good was that? What a team. What an absolute team. And as I said, I wanted to try and run that last week. Skin boots, I see. Yes, wonderful. And Carl, thanks again for that. Very generous. Thank you. I wanted to run that for Phoebe because last Tuesday was her birthday. So if anyone wants to throw in a happy birthday in the comments, that'd be fantastic. I'm sure she'd love it. I think she's 21. I'm sure. There was one day that there was all the women in the world were born, and they all turned 21 last Tuesday. Well, that doesn't make sense. It was that year, so I forget how long ago. We were supposed to be very busy in the hospitals. Right, what's the next thing we're going to do? We're going to have, so it's Phoebe, Steve, John, and I'm going to run through John's way of nesting. Now that didn't really come out right, but you'll see what I mean. I'm going to start the video and read. So it says, keep your delicates safe with foam cutouts. So take a picture of the things in the box or the drawer that you want. Turn them sideways so John's got an idea, with a ruler also at the same point. John draws this out on Fusion 360. It develops an isometric or a 3D image for him. And there's the cutout. And I'm sure we're going to have a picture of everything in place. How cool is that? And up close. That is how easy it is. Told you, John's a wizard. Absolutely fantastic. And hopefully, when the CNC machine arrives at my place, I'll be able to do similar things and possibly even show you guys how to do it. I'm sure John would be more than happy to be able to show you how to do it as well if you asked him. You know, not a problem at all. Now he's probably saying, Dave, shut up, shut up, shut up. Oh dear, where are we up to? Happy birthday, Phoebe. Yeah, wish her a happy birthday. Now, the iMuffs competition. So for everyone who entered this week, whoop, right way up, David. These things I have been using. I didn't think I'd use them much, but I'll tell you what, all the time, on they go. I can adjust them forward a little bit if I need to, so they'll sit proud, or I pull them back into wherever I need as well. I can wear glasses underneath. You know, they're brilliant. Why in the hell didn't someone invent them earlier? I can put them on like so and have them up like ordinary earmuffs. The glasses section controls everything. Flip them over, away you go. Out of the way. They come with smoked grey, if you want. That they're optional extras, and yellow, or amber. I think the trendy word is amber. And away you go. Where are we up to? What's the next thing? Who won them? Let me see if I can. Okay, now I did say the states, and if your initials are JM, you won. Well, hold on. Let me just expand on that a bit. If your first name is Josh and your second name is Mandel, you're this week's winner. Now, these are great, and please support George as well. He's just throwing these things at me. I don't know why. Maybe he's getting a lot of exposure and making a few bucks from selling them. But how good is that? This is so good. He's supporting the show, and I'm more than happy to support his product because it's a product that works. You know what I say? If someone sends me some stuff and I don't think it's any good, I won't tell you about it. But at the same time, there are people that sent me some things, and I haven't had a chance yet to go through it and give it its proper recognition. So I haven't done stuff with those yet as well. So, you know, why not? Enter the competition, open that box down the bottom. It says show more. There'll be a link to where you can get them if you want to buy some straight away, or there's a link to the competition this week as well down there, and some other links if you want to take advantage of them. Congratulations, Josh. Indeed, indeed. Happy birthday, Phoebe. Awesome looking table leg. Looking forward to the progress. Indeed, 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 indeed. I think that's just about it. There's nothing else that I had to talk about, was there? I think I've covered it all. And I'm so happy being back in this room rather than doing it from in the house. The reason being, all of my props are here. You know, how do you do a show about woodworking or other general interest stuff, or the videos of interesting things during the week? And here's an interesting thing from the week. I've been pressure cleaning the deck here. Now, it's not a New Zealand deck. As I say, it's an Australian one. Here we go. Phoebe, oh my goodness, thank you, Dave. And all, not a problem, Phoebe. So this is before, and a lot of algae grows on the decks here because, well, I'm in the Blue Mountains and it gets very wet and misty. Even on a warm day, we'll be up in the clouds. So it's a perfect environment for that to happen. And so that's the walkway onto part of the deck. And then this is from the house looking out. This is after I cleaned it. I don't use an oil. I may. Stan Seglinski has sent me a recipe for some oil that's got a fair bit of tung oil and some other secret herbs and spices. So I might give that April Fool's on your shirt, John. Oh, I never realized. Thank you so much. Oh, here I was going to go up and see Vicky and say, oh, but is it, am I losing it? Have I gone colorblind all of a sudden? Did someone switch shirts on me? Maybe it's because I got up super early and got hooked into the garage and trying to get things happening. Okay, thank you very much for watching, everybody. Today's show, I was a bit long-winded at the beginning, and we did get caught up with the sound issue. But hopefully the sound is going perfectly now. And John Lowry, you're not allowed to make any comment about the sound in the future because you've lost all privilege. You will have to stay in the corner all week next week. But everyone else, by all means, thank you. Thank you to everyone who's been supporting the channel. And I will look into Patreon. It's just another thing to do at the moment. And I'm really under the pump trying to get everything happening, get the workshop running well. What I will do before I go is I'm going to show you something. If you've got a couple of seconds, I'm going to show you a machine I used during the week. Now, I got in touch with Festool. Now, this is something that anyone can do. You can get in touch with Festool and say, look, I'm interested in buying a particular machine. Can I get a lend of one from your rep? And can you drop it off for a day or two or come and do a demonstration for me? Now, I have never used the RE130 before in my life. This is a diamond grinder. Now, this is what I used to grind all of the edge of the concrete slab. And I hired a big machine, pardon me, thinking that this wouldn't do the floor. But there's also a plate, because I just got this as a loaner. It didn't come with some of the things. And there's a plate, it's a height adjust. You know how their belt sanders have got this carriage that the belt sander will sit in, so it attracts really well. This thing has a similar thing. So I could have done a large surface with it. But, coffee. The problem would have been, though, my knees would have been destroyed. The bigger machine was much easier to do the surface. But this thing hooked in so quickly around the edges. It's called the RE130. And I was super impressed with it. This worked like a demon. Now, the other thing is I had put some masking tape on different things around the place. So let's have a look. I've got some masking tape on the wall over there. And because people have said, Dave, put the masking tape on and it's going to last. You'll never get it off the wall if you leave it there for more than 2 days. How did that go? Beautiful. And that's been there since Tuesday. Tip this up a little. And I'll turn it around and down here because I've got a piece on some plywood because I put it on different surfaces. Again, put on the same day. That came off absolutely perfect. I've got a 6-foot length again on the gloss paint out in the lounge, not in the lounge room. I treat it like the lounge room. It's my garage. And I'm sure that it will peel off in exactly the same manner. So there you go. That's not bad. There's a couple of bucks, $4 I think it cost to get that masking tape. I normally use blue tape. I normally follow a brand and a recognized name like 3M. And this is a situation where I thought, well, I'll give it a shot. I bought some of Aldi's twist drills the other day, the Brad Points. They were rubbish. wouldn't cut a wet paper bag. I'm sorry to say that, guys at Aldi, but your masking tape is brilliant. I reckon your buyers are doing a great job here and there. That's got to be it, guys. I got to go. I got to go shopping and have a great afternoon. Hang out with my girl. Wash Barry. The dog's got to get washed once a week at the moment. He's got some bit of a skin irritation coming out of summer. So yeah, that's life. Okay, where are we? Where are we wondering about the grinder? Okay, great show. Thanks. Yes, Peter, the grinder is fantastic. That is a gun machine. If I was doing it more often, I would definitely get one. I'm sure that Steve Innes is going to rush out now and buy one because he probably hasn't got it. Okay, let me go through here. Called Buddy Slats. Yes, Steve's filling you in on the other things. Thank you on the website already. Yes, what time is it where you are? You've got the RAS 180, which is wood version. It's brilliant. Dave, you ring me, please, re-computer parts. Okay, well, my computer's going fine now. I did buy a switch box and had that connected, and it was going beautifully. Thanks, John, not a problem. Barry, it's 3 a.m. where you are. Great show. Get some sleep. Thanks, John. Should talk. Yes. Okay. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great week, and I shall see you next time.